Rock and roll today. Oh, yes, we'll just talk about some other things. Good. I am giving a 2% increase on your test if you come and retake your retake. Do test correction. If you would like those 2%, okay, I will not leave this room. That's good as well. Okay, that's that question up. Yes. More than welcome. My 8-day lunch is a little bit, I do have somebody for lunch, but it's still welcome to come in. Second lunch is done. Third lunch, there isn't one anymore. Longer time. Okay, I got to find the white side. Even though you don't have to go to the white side, but that's what it told me to do when I was, working on it. Yep. Also, also like anybody, remember you do have progress in the fact of the matter with the workers. Last time we had 20 minutes. Hey, I got one of my. I'm slow. Okay. So today I'm going to write some sequences up here. Okay, there's many different types of sequences that I'm showing at this time. Okay, so with that being said, does anybody know which one is an arithmetic? That's what we're going to be doing today, the arithmetic. There are 3 different types, they're all different types. So, answer one. Taylor. The middle one, can you explain why? Because I'm adding, is that your reasoning? You believe that the word adding is there? Okay, so you believe it's 1 of the 2. All right. Okay. Anybody want to help him a little bit better for any knowledge? It is one of those reasons because I'm adding or because I'm multiplying. One of those 2. Huh? You said multiplying? Just maybe look at yes or doubt? That'd be wrong. The one that's adding. Okay? Each of these are different kinds of sequences. Anybody remember what the top one's called? The Fibonacci. This is the one that has some cool mathematical traits, but it came from buttons where it really was from. You'll notice how does this pattern work? What's our next term? Can you help me with my next term? 13. Where does 13 come from? Anybody? Adding the 2 previous terms, right? To do 21 and so on. Okay. That's what a sequence is a collection of terms that have a pattern to get to the next. Okay. This one will be our next term. 15, and this is the arithmetic. That's what I said, arithmetic. See? Okay? You spell it in English. We probably can spell that in my arithmetic. I went into the blue, but it's all right. I don't know what the hell that is. No, not even trying to. Please, I promise. You know how to spell it? No. Well, it's just cool to see. Okay. I got my white box there. Okay. Next one. What's the next term on this guy? 729. Oh, shoot. That was 243. And then 729. Okay. Okay. We'll be studying him, the geometric. He's called a geometric study next class today? So today we're doing arithmetic. Next time we're studying geometric. On Monday, we'll be studying binomial theorem. And then Wednesday, we'll review we're pretty quick. Just a quick unit at the end. So the reason being is I wanted to test before Thanksgiving. Because Thanksgiving is about 2 weeks from Thursday. Tuesday. Tuesday's our last day. I got a calendar, I just got to split. We'll be testing the 16th. And then, do you guys know that every Friday in the month of November I test it? Last time. With you guys, right? I test this Friday with my 10-10 quiz. I test next Friday. Which I love it. So I'm excited. Yeah. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we actually test on December 14th. That would be our last day to test. I mean, that one, just to give you a heads up, that would be our 3 tests for it. Huh? Well, damn, it ain't that day then. Probably the 8th. That was probably it. Sorry. Thank you for your help on that. It's around there. Yeah. Okay? Whatever the 8 is. No, we don't want to do it. That's all the mediation day. Class. Get stuff done based on Thursday, it's a half a day. What? Whatever the Thursday is of the last week. Well, yeah, great. You don't have a Thursday? I swear, if somebody told me we ain't go Thursday, it's a half a day. Yeah. Oh, I would fuck the office. I'd rather go on the old number 4 days. When I was little, seriously, we'd go all every time we'd go up to the 21st. I really. And that's why we get out freaking past more of the kids me off to something. That's the only reason why I do it. I know. Yeah, it takes me a long time. I know how to do it. Just the top I don't know how to do. Do I ruin your day every day? Well, maybe I give up too easy, okay? Shut up. All right. Is this arithmetic? All right. Can anybody tell me what does this arithmetic look like for something we've already previously? Where is the smoke on? A graph of a linear equation. That's where I'm here. Okay, linear. It's a linear equation, right? Because if you're consistently adding the same number over and over and over again, that's like riding and running, right? Slope. Okay, what is multiplying over and over and over? No, not a parabola. Oh, there you go. It's an exponential. Okay, so if you're multiplying by the same number over and over and over again, it grows over. Okay, or if you're dividing, it's small. Right? That makes sense to everybody? All right. So this is linear. So we're going to treat it like a linear equation. I would like us to find the 94th term. Okay? So I want to find a sub 94. How many of you guys really want to go out there and like, we're on number 3rd term, let's go 94 of them, yeah! No, not one of you guys should raise your hand. If you do that, I'm going to slap you. Because every year I have one person like, oh, this so smart. I'm like, that thing was worth 2 points. And you did that, I would just get it. Okay, but whatever. To each their own, I guess, right? Yeah, I told the girl when I was parallel parking with the car that I'm like, hey, you did a really good one, except we'd like to be closer to the curb, but I can't blame you because she's like a foot away from the curb.
I'm sorry.
6 inches.
I'm sorry. I just like pulled up and I didn't know.
Whose house is that?
Yeah, it's me, but I didn't know I was going in, and then I was like, but technically you're not supposed to be right up to the curb. You're supposed to be on
6 inches.
the black part.
No, wrong.
No, but like.
Who said that to you?
They,
Who's Dave? Well, Dave can go to hell. Now, Dave, how close to the curb should we be when we park? But I know, she was not even close to being even 12 inches. I'd say 8 feet.
I was kind of on the.
No, you weren't even in the cement. You're in the black part, which is more than a foot. I parallel parked with her car yesterday, not knowing it was her car. Well, it's because we're not. It was a little curvy. Dave. You know who Dave is? Oh, Dave from. No, not that Dave.
Oh.
Not Dave. Dave's on load. No, okay. Not that Dave. Dave's driving. You know Dave from Dave's Driving? Is that the guy that picks you up right out here? Oh, that's Mike Wright.
No, I don't.
I'm okay with 4. Yeah.
It's fine.
Nope. I write it down as 14. All I do is I say, I write this, but I have 13 students, 2 out of half, which is 1. Okay, here we go. So, how are we going to go about and find the 94th term? Okay, Don. What you did. Yeah, so 30 is negative 15. And so that's 2 left. What did you get? I'm not saying you're right because I didn't follow you whatsoever, but whatever. Okay, that's 467. Okay, that's what he thinks. I don't know if it's right. I really don't. Negative 472. Okay. I don't know. I haven't done this yet. Why are you doing negative 5x minus 2? Okay, that is a big pattern. Now notice that this is a linear equation. Okay? This represents, by the way, a sub n on the top. This represents the nth term. This is the first term, second term, third term, and so on. Hi! You lost your voice? How the hell are you supposed to speak? Okay. Okay. So, notice, ladies and gentlemen, what is the main equation you've learned in the past for equation 1? Okay? Which M represents the slope, right? And B represents 2. Y-intercept. Okay? So let me come back to you, Heather. I'm not trying to... Megan. I know who you are. Really good. Megan. You said negative 5x minus 2. Well, negative 2 is not my y-intercept. Okay? So what would be my term? 3, because I'd have to go back one step, right? To have 0, 0 would represent 3. That would be my y-intercept. Okay? Here's what it'd be. We'd write a sub n equals our slope, which we don't call it slope, we tell you what we call it in a minute. Our slope is what? -5 n plus 3. Then we're looking for the 94th term. So that's -5 times 94. Because I'm looking for the 94th term. Plus 3. So it's negative 470. Is that correct? 470 plus 3. Whatever the hell he said makes sense.
I said it like that, but not because I am not.
That's just like, woo. But you got it. Right? In the book, or if you look at most places, they're going to show you this formula. That's very close to point slope, if you think about it. Do you remember point slope when we were doing things? And then notice all they did was what? Add the y1 over. And then they changed some things. M and D are the same thing. This is slope because that's an equation. This is called our common difference. Whenever you see, you might hear words as common difference. That's equivalent to what the slope is. Okay. Notice y is this one, y1 and x1. Well, what's our point of our x value in the first term? Always 1. What's our fourth term going to be here? 4. I could put 4 here and a sub 4 here, couldn't I? And just switch them. Does that make sense? So you guys, it's very similar. How many of you guys found equations via point slope? Okay. Some of you guys might have also found them just by y equals mx plus b, even if you didn't have your y in it. Some of you are going to see in the past showing you how to find the equation of the line using just y equals mx plus b without knowing the slope. I mean the intercept. Yes. I don't like it that way, but there are some teachers that do. Just because I wasn't taught that way. Not what's in my mind what I think of. Should I do it? Yeah. Vegas, huh? When do you go to Vegas? Can I ask? The B and the B, two different sections.
I wanted it.
I like it. Thanks. What the hell am I doing? Did we find it? Yes, we did. Thanks. Ooh, crazy. Are we okay with that? Me personally, whenever I start here and they give me the first term, I personally always just go back to one term, find the y-intercept and use my common difference and slope intercept that. Okay? That's just probably the easiest way for me. But if, like I give you this, a sub 4 is 57, a sub 7 is 92, I want you to find a sub 22. A sub 22. Now, not necessarily that I'm asking you to do that now, but that's the goal. Okay? So what do we need to know? We need an equation, don't we? The thing about this one, though, is we don't see the slope or the common difference in these two. Because we don't see consecutive terms. But if you recall from using slope, a lot of this stuff you guys learned in 7th and 8th grade. That's the last time for you, maybe first. Anyway, on. Okay, so anybody remember what we combined with 2 points? We combined with slope. Because if you recall, what is slope? You need the other definition of what you guys heard in the past. Rise over run. Cool. What does rise mean? Or down, but it's really saying how far am I moving? Right? If I start at 2 and I end at 13, that was a difference of 11. Now, if you guys recall, how many of you guys take temperature of fitness? Most of you guys have. What does this mean? The change or delta, right? Delta is the change of y over the change of x. Well, isn't this basically a point, ladies and gentlemen? How is this a point? Our fourth term is 57, so that's like a point. 4 comma 57, isn't it? This is a point. 7 comma 92. So what happened in the change of our y? Basically, I'm saying 92 minus 57 is the change, isn't it? You guys remember doing that? 92 minus 57 over 7 minus 4. No, it's the change of y over the change of x. You guys remember doing this? A lot of this could be very simple because we've learned it in the past. You've got to connect it to the past, right? Okay. So what's 92 minus 57? 35? 35? Man, I gave you guys a good one, didn't I? Those are different. Sorry, not really. Whatever. We're all tough. Are you tough? Pause everybody. Teamwork. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I now have a slope or my common difference, don't I? Okay. I could go back to that formula that I just gave you. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus our difference, parentheses, n minus 1. But do I have to use that? Well, let's just try it out. Let's just say, hey, okay, here we go. I'm going to use one of these points. I'm going to choose this guy. Should I choose the bottom one if I want to? Here we go. A sub 4 equals a sub 1 plus my difference. What's my difference? And I made this up. What's our n? 4, right? Now I just plug stuff in. But what's a sub 4? We actually know what a sub 4 is. What is it? So what are we going to solve for? A sub 1. And if you didn't know a sub 1, we have our formula, don't we? Okay, so let's really quickly. So that's 35 divided by 3 times 3 is 35. Correct? So basically I'm at 57 equals a sub 1 plus 35. Subtract it over, a sub 1 is 22. Okay, so this is 3. 3 times 35 thirds is usually sometimes I do stuff and I probably should throw that stuff. Does everybody get that though? Because this is 3, right? And 35 divided by 3 times 3, the 3 will cancel. This will be 35. Yeah. Okay, and then we subtract it over a sub 1 is 22. So what's our generalized equation now? A sub n equals 22 plus 35 thirds n minus 1. What term am I looking for there? So a sub 22 equals 22, not because this is 22, but because that's a sub 1. Plus 35 thirds, 22 minus 1. There's only times that there. What's 22 minus 1? This is 21. 21 divided by 3 is 7. What is that? 245? I want to say 245. 35 times 7 is 245. Plus 22, which is Base of 22 is 267. Did you write this one without doing it my way? So, ladies and gentlemen, maybe that's not your style, though. Maybe you don't want to remember equations because it doesn't bear fruit with you. I don't know if that makes sense. We're going to go with that. Okay. Maybe it doesn't resonate. Does that matter? Resonate with you. Vocab. Okay. So let's do it in terms of y equals mx plus c. Ladies and gentlemen, what point do we know? I know two of them. A sub 4 is 20. Excuse me, A sub 4 is what? So that's my y value, is 57, equals my slope. What's my slope? 35 thirds. What term was I using? And, nope, because this is my fourth term. So I'm going to put 4 in. Because I'm solving for my y-intercept. You guys understand that x is 4 when my y was 57? Okay, and 35, wow, that's the other method. 35 thirds divided by 140 thirds, is that what that is? Yay, 140 thirds. I'm going to subtract that. Which 57 is 171 thirds. Is that a correct statement? Yeah. So, 171 thirds minus 140 thirds is 31 thirds. So my equation is y equals 35 thirds times x plus what the hell was it again? 31 thirds. Because this was 171 minus 140. So what term was I looking for again? Which one? 20 seconds. 22 in here. 35 times 22. 770. 770 divided by 3 plus 31 over 3 is 801 divided by 3, which is divisible by 3, ladies and gentlemen, which comes out to be 267. Another way to find it, right? Either way, I have to find a missing term. The first time I found a sub 1, correct? The second time I had to find my y-intercept or my a sub 0. You guys get what I'm doing there? I had to find a different term and I had my equation plug in after I found all the variables in the equation. Okay. Everybody do this thing? That's good. Is that Yellowstone? Yellowstone. I haven't been there. Come on, let's do it. One thing. That is very young.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's American life.
I want it out.
Okay, you close mine. We're gonna watch.
Why not record it? Are you saying we can't record stuff? What the hell, why not? Sometimes people that are missing need to know what a guy on a buffalo is.
Preach on, Taylor. Preach on, brother. There's like 4. We're only gonna watch one though.
I love a guy on a buffalo. I should one day dress up as a guy on a buffalo. This is high quality film right here. to himself. Oh. This is a real movie that they did a pun off of it. That's right. Now I'm going to stand on your foot. Told you, that's coming up. I don't know why it's so damn funny to me, but it's good. Okay. Episode. Now, the funny thing is, the episodes are not in order of what they should be. Let's get rid of that. Don't know, that feels a little awkward. Awesome, back to math. There's 4 other episodes, maybe another day. That's episode 1. Huh? How long? Well, they just had to cut the tape. I don't know what those are. And then create the song. They're very creative. Kristen, did you enjoy that guy in Buffalo? I didn't see one smile out of you. Maybe a little sad. Did you know you were wearing Tommy Hilfiger, right? Which is great. I had a kid in high school, that's all he would wear. So, I don't remember his name was Justin. Justin Van Fibber. And I just called him Tommy. Why do you call me Tommy? I'm like, every day with Tommy. Every day. I don't know. I'm so busy. I don't know. Oh, yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I just gave you in the past was an explicit equation. An explicit equation allows us to find any term at any time. If I have that equation, a sub n, what was it, 35 thirds n plus, what was my y-intercept, 31 thirds? Okay, that would be an explicit equation because at any time I can find any equation. I just have to put something in for n, chugga wigga, we got that a bit. That was a new one for me. Anyway, you just plug that crap in, get a machine going, boom, it chugs out a number, doesn't it? Okay, how many of you guys remember recursive? Because I guarantee you've learned recursive in the past. Now, it might have been secondary 1 is where it was. That's probably the last time we did it. And recursive to me is like, there's really no point. But it's part of our course. So let's talk about recursive. Okay, recursive means this is our generalized formula. A sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus my difference. That is your recursive formula. Now, with the recursive formula, there's 2 things that have to be given. Can anybody tell me what are those 2 things that have to be given? I have to know what I start with. A sub 1 is, we already know it's 2. What is our difference as well? 3. Okay, now what does this really mean? Okay, well I found the first term. Let's say I want us to find the first 5 terms, but showing work via the recursive formula. Okay, what would a to sub 2 be? Well, 2 represents the n, doesn't it? You guys agree with that? So what does that n represent? 2. What's 2 minus 1? 1. What was a sub 1? Or a sub 2 is 5 and no sub 3 is 5. Okay, what's a sub 3? Well, once again, a sub 3 is the end. So what goes here? 3 minus 1, right? So this would be a sub 3, excuse me, a sub 2 plus 3. Who was a sub 2? 5. And 5 plus 3 is 8. So basically, what does this mean, ladies and gentlemen? What is that term? That's what a lot of people get in trouble with. This means the previous term. If I had a sub 5, what would this be? A sub 4, it's the previous term. It's one term back, and n minus 1. With me there? So then we're going to continue on. Notice, I could keep just adding 3, but let's show the work for the other two. A sub 4. What is a sub 4 equal to? A sub 3 plus 3, but who is a sub 3? 8 plus 3 is 11. What term did I ask you guys to go to? A sub 5. A sub 5 is a sub 4 plus 3, which is 11 plus 3, which is 4. Yeah, it's very limited. That's why I don't believe it. But basically, it's a good thing to just say, oh, this is what you're doing from term to term. And how they're connected. Oh, it's the same as the term from last time, but you're adding 3. That's complicated. Make sense? Any questions there? Okay. Could I ask you guys to find any term? You guys to be able to find it. Not on a recursive, but just in general. If I gave you a sequence, and I said find the 91st term, you could find it. Yes, it's correct. That's the whole one. Which is on Skyward. Not Skyward, dang it. Math Excel. Soccer player. I'm about to kick a soccer player's butt. It's really pissing me off. Red-headed, long-haired, gingy, curly dude. Little bastard. Didn't, cancel my driving twice. And if he cancels, then I have to cancel the other dude because I only had 2 people. You guys beat him up a little bit. Extra credit to you. No, that is not on tape. Please do not beat up Mason. Yeah, that is not on the order. You will not be getting extra credit. Okay. Anyway, Mason, yeah, he's a nice kid besides no children. Okay, so I can find any term, correct? Can I find the common difference giving a sequence? Could I find the common difference giving two values of the sequence? Okay, does that make sense? Could I find any term given 2 values of the sequence? Those are the hardest thing you're going to do today. Okay, that is a sequence. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this right here okay, is that a sequence? What kind? Okay, so what's the difference between this?
Nothing.
There is something different. Hopefully you see it. There's like big crosses on it. I don't know about you guys, that's different. Okay, is it still a sequence in a way though? Yeah. But this time we're adding the sequence. We're finding the sum of a sequence, which then we call that a series. Whenever you see addition in between the terms, that becomes a series. That's the only difference. It's just a sequence with addition in between. Okay? This is a series. What would be the sum of this series? We could quickly do that. We'd be like, oh, -7 plus 5, the sum of that's negative. Correct? Okay. Well, I got a question for you. Because this comes into mathematics history. There was Mr. Gauss. Have you guys heard of Gauss before? He's a famous mathematician. And he came out, was he German? Gauss. Gauss. I don't know if there's double dots above him, but there right here. Okay. I don't know my German. Let's speak it so Deutsch. Oh, can you show me 3? Yeah. No. Show me with your fingers 3. Yeah, you're. So we do this. Hey, you're a sign language person, aren't you? Okay, get that crap out of here. Okay. But I was watching a show, and I don't suggest that to everyone. It's called Inglorious Fish Poop. I say it a lot. But anyway, it's a good movie. Glorious. And then this guy was during World War II. And he was dressed up as a German, and he spoke German and all this stuff, and he was doing really good. And then he sat down, and he was supposed to be a captain. He's like, 3 beers, please, but in German. And then they killed him. He did this, because he did this. And right there, they knew he wasn't in German. I've asked every single one of my German students, I'll do 3. Would you have killed him? Yes, would you have noticed? That's my question.
I could know because a lot of
My whole theory nowadays would go wrong. We'd be killing people that we shouldn't have. You get what I'm saying?
well, it's more complex. Yeah, actually, like,
Little history lesson, cultural lesson. I learned it all because of a movie that says a lot of F words. Be careful in it. Okay. So, there was Gauss. He was a famous mathematician. And he was in school just like you guys are one day. Maybe the teacher was having a rough day, and he wanted some busy work for his students. So he's like, student, add 1 through 100. Add up all the terms, 1 through 100. Tell me what you get.
okay.
Okay? So, if we have this, you kind of get the idea. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's important to put 4. 3 again. 5, blah, blah, blah. 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Right? And the teacher thought it was going to take about a half hour, maybe even an hour. And it took Gauss less than 2 minutes. So, my last class got it. And you. What do you got, Alex? So you're saying, okay, that these 2 equal 100. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100. It's very close to what I would do. Very close. Okay, if you did that, how many terms of that do you have? How many pairs of that do we have? We don't have 50. Okay, so it's a little bit different. So let's think about it. Really, we don't even have 50. We have 49. And then this one. So there is 50 hundredths. But then we have a little guy sitting in here in the middle. Okay, but let's show you a different way. Okay, very similar to what you did though. Okay, let's go 101. 1 and 101. Okay, everybody, what is this number always going to add up to be? 101. How many of those do I know for sure I have? 50. Why do I have 50? Because there's 100 terms and I'm linking up 2 at a time. Right? We took the number of terms and divided by 2. Have you seen this before? Have you seen it before? So you never saw it before, right? Or are you just inspired the famous mathematician? Sometimes, my question, you guys always like, who would have thought of this stuff? You guys ever wonder what you could have thought of if somebody didn't find it? It's happening every day in our world, isn't it? Isn't there, most of the careers you guys are gonna be doing aren't even thought of yet? Right? Yeah. No, I agree, there's some things of that aspect. It would be, because there's always gonna be those types of people that are curious, right? And that's, sometimes I think we would take ourselves for granted just because we do know some things because somebody already found it out. Okay, so what do we get? I think we get it 50-50, correct? Is that what it is? Somebody put it in for sure. Okay. Now, what if I want to do this, but I don't want, what's an equation I can use? Basically, you just wrote an equation whether you know it or not. Okay, what is our equation? How did we get to the 101? We added who? The first term and the last term. I don't know how many terms there are every time, so a sub n, representing the number of terms. Correct? How did we get to 50? We divided the number of terms by 2 because we're grouping them together. That tells us how many of those terms we have. Would you guys agree? Okay. And notice we don't use a sub n this time, we use s sub n for the sum of that arithmetic. Now, why did I tell you the story? Why? Why do you think? There's a lot of things you guys will be memorizing on this test. Now you have something at least to associate the formula for that test. Right? Did you guys think you come up with a formula now, knowing what we did here? It could be very simple to come up with that formula because we're associating it to a score. Right? Association? Everybody good with me? Okay. So let's come back up to this. We got -2. Okay? What was our numbers again? -5, -2, 1, and 4. And notice we were finding the sum. So I know, yes, it was really quick just to add those together, correct? But let's use the formula we just found. So what would we say here? S of what? 4, because we're looking for the 4 terms, right? So I'd go 4 over 2, parentheses. Who's our first term?
Wait, did you choose 4 because that's what we have?
Yes. -5 plus 4, because that was our last term. So we already found it out to be -2 by doing quick addition. Now notice I probably wouldn't do this, but I'm just showing you it can work every time, right? Notice, look at those groups. What does that add up to? What does that add up to? -1. And notice that's what we get. How many times do we have that? 5. Pretty cool thing. Think of that. So the answer would be -2. Okay. There's another way to look at that. Have you guys seen this notation before? Sometimes you see him up at university. Sigma chi! Whatever. Sigma. Okay? Whenever you see sigma, you're going to think sum. The sum. So it's already telling us that it's the plus. Okay? Does that make sense? And it might look like this though. Because this right here is just my equation, isn't it? So here's my first term. Our common difference is going up. It's not negative, sorry. It should be a positive. Sorry about that. Are we going up by 3? Notice if I went back 1 step, would be my y-intercept. -8. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, it could look like this. If you have a TI-84, raise your hand if you have a TI-84 again. If you have a TI-83, raise that hand. I will help you too in a moment, read in a moment. Okay? But we can still get the same answer. Okay. Some of your TI-84s can do this, and some of you guys haven't been updated. If you haven't been updated, completely fine. Okay? Completely fine. If you haven't been updated, it's all right, but I can update you a little bit later. Maybe would you like to come practice it? Okay, so we're going to use this, we're going to plug it in. What was our answer to this sum, by the way? We already found it. Remember, we got what? -2. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to our calculator. Machine! Okay, so the machine. For most of you, hit alpha. Alpha F2, which is your window button. Alpha F2. This is a person who has an 84. If you have an 84, you can do this. If you have an 83, you may not do this. How many of you guys pop up that window that's just popped up? Some of you guys will not. Let's put it this way. Who has an 84 that did not pop up that window? It's a little bit different, but it pop up a window. Any 84s that did not pop up a window? Awesome, then everybody's updated that I have, so it's perfectly fine. Okay? 83s, I'll help you in just a moment. Okay. So what are we looking for? We're actually looking for a summation, right? Number 2. So I hit number 2. Pop this stuff up. We're just basically going to put in the equation that's on our paper that I just wrote, right? What is, instead of n, I'm not going to put in, I'm going to put x, which is this button right here, x. And what did we start with? X is 1. What did that 1 represent? That says the first term I started. So it's the top number. How many terms did we do? 4. Hence why we did 4. Because that was our very first term. We started at the first term. -5 represents our first term. Does that make sense? So notice. So basically it's saying this is my first term when we went to our 4th term, hence why I'm going 1. Then we go ahead and plug in the equation. What was our equation again? 3x minus 8? What did we get? So it can do that. Now, I want you to be aware, I'm showing you ways that can make it quicker for future, but right now it's not your future. I want you to know how to do the formula. Can you do a little of both? Is there going to be a time on your test I'm going to ask you to find that? Cool. You can just plug it into your calculator. Awesome. Everybody can do that. I'm going to show even the 83s how to do that in just a second. Okay? Is everybody with me? So you could do that. But are there times where I'm going to ask you, please don't use your calculator and find the sum of this? What would you have to do? Use the formula, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Yes, no? Okay. All right, so for those that have an 83, there's actually a lot of you. Somebody didn't raise your dang hand. No. Okay, here's what you're going to do. If you see above the stat button, it says list. So we're going to go second list. This could be for anyone if you ever want to know. We're going to push over to the math button and find sum, number 5. So far so good. Did all you guys find it? With me so far? So you go over to list and then push over to math. And then hit sum, which is number 5. So then now notice here, but I'm finding the sum of a sequence. So then I hit, once again, list. Now I go to OPS. I don't know what the heck that means, but
What?
list again, so second stat. And then the OPS, I'm looking for a sequence. So 5. Ooh, mine comes up with this. Yours does not. Okay? But here's what you're going to do. It says the expression. So you guys are going to write in the expression. What is our expression that we have? It was 3x minus 8. Okay? Then you're going to hit a comma. You see where the comma is by the parentheses? Okay? What's the variable that we're using? X. So we hit X, then hit comma again. I'll show you what it should look like when it pops back right by the parentheses. And then we're gonna hit, where did we start at? What number did we start at?
1.
1. What number did we, and then comma. And then what did we end on? 4. And then what's our step? We're going by steps of 1. I want to just go every 1. And then case don't worry about. Notice, here's the exact same thing that happened. So, sequence 3x minus 8, comma, x, comma, 1 to 4, comma, 1 means the step. Does that make sense, guys? 2 out of 83. Okay, hit enter, what do we get? It's the same way as what we did. This is just a little bit, it's a little outdated, right?
Does the stuff always in the
You don't even actually have to put it there. You can actually stop it when okay? Pretty simple. Pretty easy day, huh? We're just going to do one more. But I want you to do it first without a calculator, and then we're going to do it with a calculator. Fair deal? All right. If you guys want to do it with the calculator, everybody plug and chug. Go with the calculator. Go ahead and do it. If you have a TI-83, I'd hit second enter and then just replace the stuff. Oh, nice. Who is that? Hi, Fred Abby. Tell her I said howdy. Okay. So you're going to put 3. 3. That's what we're starting this time. Sorry, guys. I should have x equals here. I apologize. Yep. I got from by looking everybody to be negative 2205. Yes? Yeah. Google? I don't know how to say it. Okay, what does this all mean? Is that what you're asking? Okay, let me help you. What this says is this is the first term I'm going to start at to find the sum. Hence off sum first. I'm starting with the third term and going all the way to the 47th term. Okay, does that make sense? Everybody there with me? Okay, and then I'm going to add those guys up. Here's the equation that they're going by increment. Third term. I'll explain what this is. So if I was going to do this by hand, how would I read this by hand? Right? Okay. So I want to find the sum. Okay. And technically, how many terms am I finding? Whoa, I hear 44 or 45. Why is it 45? Okay, think about this, guys. If I start at 1 to 50, how many terms is that? 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 50. If I start at 0, how many terms is that? 51. Because remember, just going 0 to 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Always subtract, add 1. So most of you guys subtracted. Did you guys not agree? Most of you guys said whoever was thinking 44, you went, oh, this minus this. So you've got to add 1. You want to count that number. 33 is counting as something. So always subtract those two numbers and then add 1. So how many terms do we have here technically? 45. We're finding the sum of 45 terms. Okay? Now, remember, n represented the number of terms that we were doing. How many terms do we have? 45. over 2, correct? Now, it said a sub 1. Well, what's another name for a sub 1 that I could say? The beginning term, correct? A sub 1 represents the beginning term. This time we don't start at 1. Where do we start? 3. So what's a sub 3? That would be my beginning term, wouldn't it? Right? How do I find a sub 3? Anybody help me out? Plug it in. Negative 2 times 3, negative 6 plus 1, negative 5. Our first term is negative 5. We're going to add that to our last term. That's what a sub n stood. So does that mean I plug in 45, a sub 45? A sub 47, because it's the 47th term that I'm using, even though it's 45 terms. Okay, let me say that one more time. The 47th term I'm using, but I'm only using 45 terms. Okay? So, 47, negative 2 times 47 is negative 94, am I correct?
Yeah.
94 plus 1, negative 93. Add those together, I get negative 98 times by 45 halves. Basically 45 times negative 49. Can somebody do that, please? 45 times negative 49 becomes negative 4205. So once again, I'm going to ask you to do both ways. Other times I'm just going to ask you to plug it in. Yes, or there's times I'm going to ask you to interpret this to find the sum. I'm actually going to have 2 different sheets because some people, even though I keep telling them not to use their calculator, little fun bum, still using them. You good? Any questions?